Hi, Shantol. Thank you so much for sitting down with us at the British Blacklist. I saw the film yesterday and I absolutely loved it. I thought you were absolutely outstanding and so authentic.
Thank you.
Really fantastic and really well done.
4 years I haven't seen you.
My name is D.
D for Daddy.
D for Denis.
There are a few questions I wanted to ask you based on what I saw yesterday, because I was at the Q&A and you and Ameen were talking, and I was just curious about the other things you did in terms of getting into the role character-wise, because I know that you and Ameen were exchanging emails as the characters, which I totally understand, because I think I'm an actress as well, so I understand the concept of method acting. But what other things were you doing, or do you think that the character was quite embodied naturally through your previous experiences in life?
I mean, I would ask Idris a lot of questions because you know, it's his film, so I'd ask him, you know, what exactly you want, what are you expecting of me, and I tried as much as possible to give him that. We did a lot of rehearsals before going on set, and you know, we would read through and he would ask me, you know, is this how you would say it in Jamaica, because he wants the film to be very authentic. And I had the option to say, you know, we wouldn't necessarily say it like this, you know, more like this, and he would just say, go with that, which I appreciated because we love to see ourselves represented well, you know what I mean? So I was able to use my mannerisms, my language, you know, still so people could understand it, but as authentic as possible. And, you know, Yvonne is like my mother, my aunt, like the firmness, how grounded she is, that's how the women in my life are. And so that was already in my subconscious. It's just like to emulate these women, which I appreciated getting the opportunity to do.
From my understanding of climates in Jamaica in terms of things political and social, the inherent racism that tends to be something along the lines of lighter skin is preferred. Being a dark-skinned woman in this role, obviously for me, I'm like, good. But how did you feel about that in terms of, first of all, getting the role and then knowing what that would represent for so many women across the world? You
know, to be honest, I knew it represented, you know, I knew it would be amazing and a lot of people would appreciate it, but I didn't know the magnitude of it until after, and people were seeing it and people were like, I'm so glad he got a black girl. And I'm like, why, you know, I didn't realize how massive it was. I'm like, why wouldn't he get a black person for this role? Because, of course, as you said, you know, the lighter skin is what's expected. I mean, you see it in commercials. I remember, like, there are some auditions I just wouldn't bother to go because I know, you know, they're going to go for the girl with the pretty hair. I have kinky hair, the lighter skin, because, you know, they think that's what looks better on camera.
Of black
that's representation of black. I mean, in Jamaica now, you have people who would bleach their skin, and it's so sad. Like, mental slavery is such a big thing. It's not gone. You'd bleach your skin because you'd hear a man say, psst, browning, you know, because that's what they think is beautiful. I'd never consider that, you know what I mean? And I appreciated that they just loved the blackness, the richness of it, of our skin, and representing that on camera. It's so beautiful.
I was also really fascinated by the fact that being Idris's first directional debut, that it was a gangster film. You know, the concept of this almost stereotypical black stories, as opposed to the more nuanced ones, things like Napoli Ever After that are coming out now. So if you had your choice in terms of a certain type of role that you would love to play, that doesn't necessarily have to be black, what would that be for you?
I want to be a superhero.
Oh, I love that.
I want to be that's the only non-black thing I can think of, because superheroes are diverse now. So I'd love to be a superhero. But, you know, even though it's a gangster film, I must say I think it's more of a love story than even the gangster aspects, because in Jamaica, like, most of our Jamaican films are gangster films, and they show a particular side of Jamaica, and that you know, there is this this stereotype that we tend to get tired of. But what I appreciated about this film is that it just showed the beautiful landscape of Jamaica, which we don't see very often. And then there is a struggle that you see, the love story aspect, you know. Yvonne, you don't usually see the woman being so dominant, you know? And so that's what I appreciated. Though it's a gangster film, it's more than just a gangster film. The characters are humanized and it's beautiful.
I love that. Thank you so much for sitting down with me.